group.
If you get lost, give us a ring.
All right. Has anybody got sat nav? Yeah. All right. Okay. So we're going to have a tour. It'll take what, about half an hour, Stephen?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
So we'll first of all we'll go outside onto the pitch area, so you can have a look around there. We'll explain a little bit about the pitch and everything else, and then we'll move to all the various rooms we've got in the beautiful. I was going to say Reebok, Macron Stadium, as it's called now. So you can have a look around what happens. Yeah. If you've got any questions, you can ask, but we can't guarantee we know the answers. But, you know, we'll try our best. Steve, do you want to introduce yourself about when you were involved here? So.
Yeah, well, basically I was a player here from being 11 years old up to 19 when I got released. So I just made it up to the reserve, so I'm not a real player really. So
you are a real player.
You're still part of the family. Yeah, still part of the family. But yeah, because the ex-players, etc., we have a committee that we run. I particularly help a lot on the golf side, arranging golf fixtures, etc. But they all make us welcome events throughout the year, you know. So that's me. Yeah, played through the A and B teams into the reserves, and that's as far as I got, unfortunately. Before I got released. No, I played non-league football after that. I did get the offer of a job of a team in Holland, but I'd started work, so I hedged my bets and played non-league football after that. Not in Premier League and things like that. So
semi-pro?
Yeah.
Semi-pro?
Yeah. So I think Mike's a bit the same. So
yeah, so a bit like Steve, I joined the team when I got recruited to Bolton Wanderers when we were over at Burnden Park, of course, though, in those days when I was 14. And I spent 4.5 years, same as Steve really, around about 18, 19. I got released when I was 19. So I played about 120 games for the club, and I scored 56, 57 goals, something like that. Where I played at the Clifton Palace, which was our junior, before the days of the academy. So we had our Clifton Palace team, which was basically under 16, under 17s, I think. And then we had the B team, which played in the Lancashire League, the A or the B team in those days. And then, of course, we had the FA youth team, which played against other youth teams, under 18, you know, in the English League Division 1, as it was in those days. And then, of course, I had a few games in the Central League and the reserve teams. Never made it into the first team, and left when I was about 18, something like that. And then I found a job and ended up playing as a semi-professional in the Northern Premier League for a team called Runcorn, who in those days were one of the top teams in the Northern Premier League. So I had a good spell at Runcorn, met some characters there, as you do, and then ended up going. The older you get, the further you go down, I think, in your career. So I ended up playing in the Cheshire League, then formed into the North West Counties League, and I played for St Helens Town, Warrington Town. Who else did I play for? New Mills, a number of other clubs. And I played at Wembley in the FA Vars final, St Helens Town versus Warrington Town. So I've actually played at Wembley, you know. So anyway, there we are. So,
I used to train with you then.
Where at Warrington Town? You used to play there.
Dave Taylor was the manager.
Dave Taylor, yeah.
And Joey Barton's dad played.
That's right.
I remember coming to do a training session with you on the Monday.
That's right.
Alec Gibson was the assistant manager.
Alec Gibson, yeah.
And I just signed for Stoke City.
Yeah.
And I'm playing, and they called me Joey Barton, and he went, who's your mate? Who's your mate? Asked him if you want to sign for us. He said, your kid, he said, Stoke City just paid a lot of money for him.
Yeah. Well, there we are.
And I was staying with them.
Yeah, there we are. So me and Steve will be showing you around. We can talk about the good old days at Burnden as well, because full memories.
Burnden was special. People say about this stadium's beautiful. It's everyday use, but Burnden Park, especially, you know, the stories. I got fined every day for going to the pie shop.
That's right. Pies are a phenomenon, you know. We used to train at the old Greyhound Stadium. Do you remember that? Rakes Lane. That used to be our training ground. And when I played, of course, it was Ian Greaves was the manager, and we had players like Sam Allardyce, Peter Reid, Peter Thompson, Peter Nicholson, Barry Siddall. You can remember this, a fantastic team, wasn't it? Great team. And then we used to go over to Bromwich Street, of course, and we used to play, you know, our games were played over at Bromwich Street. And,
we used to train in halls, where they made the sweets and then eucalyptus.
Oh right, yeah,
So
yeah.
we used to say, right, everyone get the balls.
Yeah.
It was in just on the way to bed, you want it?
Yeah, right.
Pretty sure you're all at the training ground. We're starting at 10:30.
Yeah.
We'd all be on the cars. Who was taking the car? It was like the wacky races.
Yeah, yeah.
And when it was sunny and all the sugar was getting, I remember we all got bit one day,
Yeah.
and every one of us, we thought we had to call the game off. We all got an infection off. Must be these special flies.
Yeah.
We all sitting there. McAtee went, it's terrible, it's terrible. Can you see them on me? Can you see them on me? And McGinley went, no, if you get in the bath in there, he said, you and the physio just put the bath full of bleach. He said, kill them.
Yeah.
So McAtee gets in the bath, comes out, he's all wide away with bleach, his hair all his hair white, and he went, does it kill them, does it kill them? And McGinley went, no, but at least you'll be able to see them moving. Story, you know.
Yeah. And at Burnden Park, you know, we'd be out training. We were just talking before, we'd be out training in the morning. We used to train from about 10 till 12. And after 12 we used to finish and have some lunch. And we remember we used to go into the boardroom at Burnden Park after our training. You know, a hard session. And there'd be a huge buffet there, these massive pork pies. And then Steve was saying there used to be a cafe over the road called Cathy's Caff, I don't know whether you remember it, next to Stan Hanson's post office. And they used to sell cheeseburgers and chips, didn't they?
Cheese and chips.
Cheese and chips.
That was always staple diet.
How things have changed.
After every away game on a Saturday, the gaffer, if you had a good result, let you get a few cans on, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
So you couldn't get on the back seat for cases of lag. It's been a good result. And then you stop at the nearest chippy.
Yeah, that's right.
And
Yeah.
that's what I said. That's what I said to Owen Coyle when his manager went, just imagine these lads after 10 pints of lag and the kebab, wouldn't be able to play the next day.
Yeah, that's right. Anyway, we'll start the tour.